Okay, Tommy Hill, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth. I have called him the godfather of DJs. I called you that at a wedding one time. Remember that?
I remember.
I like that, man. I think that sticks.
Yeah, I told
I'm
him
in
it
on
made
that.
me nervous. I said, my God, folks, I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The Godfather's here.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
first, we got to thank a few. Hey guys, it's Chad and Pudge here with the Chubby Bartenders, and look at what our good buddy at Bronx Metalworks made for us. Have you ever wanted a sign like that for your house? Maybe, what would you have?
Hey, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'd put one right behind my couch.
Ooh,
okay, right
yeah.
up in the
What
middle
would
of
it
the
say?
living room. Reynolds, established 2011.
Ooh, you need that. You want a welcome sign, you want your farm name, anything. Call our buddy at Bronx Metalworks at the number above, and John will hook you right up, man, if you want any of these things right here.
You will not believe this man's work.
He can do anything. So give that guy a call at the number above, Bronx Metalworks, John Daniels. He does great work. Thank you, John. See you, buddy.
John.
Guys, before we get started, and I believe you know these guys, we got to think. Let's start off this week with. Let's get our boy Massey in there. Let's start off with him.
Well, do you need anything built?
I mean, I tell you what, he engineered a good fat competition beating on me. Is what he engineered, because he can engineer at anything.
Yes, he can. I mean, you know, beautiful buildings and structures built by that group.
And I did get clarification. McAvoy Geiger is HVAC.
Okay, so that's just HVAC.
I believe so.
So
yes.
Geiger Brothers is still building the schools, churches, stadiums, factories.
All that stuff. So give him a call, 740-286-0800. Who else you want to talk to? Who would you like to mention next, Tommy?
Let's go with AP Prep.
AP Prep, our boy Prep.
Earn the day.
Yes, go visit those guys. They help out athletes of any age group, and I mean adults. It doesn't matter. They're building programs for success. They're earning the day over there. Go see them at apprep.info or apprep@facebook.com.
It's an absolute electric factory.
Matter of fact, he just texted me.
Oh, what does he say?
Yeah, he said he loved the intro that you did. Yeah. So
Hey, there we go.
I sent that to him. So Prater quit texting. Who else we got?
Well, I would like to talk about when was the last time you had your insurance reviewed?
Hey, we're doing insurance. That's right.
Yeah, and
give us a call. Gillum
Let's
Insurance.
talk about Gillum Insurance and how do they get a hold of you?
740-395-0357. Email seems to be a very modern day of communication. So email me, jason.gillum@american-national.com or gilluminsurance@gmail.com.
What's hot right now? What should they check on?
Man, our commercial rates are just driving it. I mean, my commercial business is booming.
It's great.
But the life insurance right now, that's a hot ticket with COVID going on.
Sure.
So, and it's cheap. I priced $1 million on a 48-year-old the other day. I think it was like $28, $27, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cheap. So give us a call. Who else we got?
Well, we've got, when was the last time you had a Big Mac?
Oh, yesterday. 2 days ago.
2 days ago. I bet it was delicious.
Oh, Brad hasn't figured out.
Oh.
He got the sauce.
Yeah.
He got that sauce.
That secret
boys.
sauce.
Yes.
Brad and Sarah Munn, the Munn family, our area McDonald's, serving the local area for over 40 years. They always give back. Make sure, if you're hungry, need something quick on the go, something quality.
Look up his app. If you get the app, it picks you up as soon as you pull in the parking lot. There's no drive-through,
bring it
nothing.
out.
You can reorder old orders. You just hit the button.
Terrific.
As a fat kid,
Can you order an apple fritter on that?
Absolutely. Whole menu's available.
Yeah, nice.
I used it yesterday. I was going
The
to
app?
the park. The drive-through was backed out to the street, so I buzzed by.
Isn't it great?
Pulled around.
It sounds like a well-kept secret. People don't realize
Yeah,
that.
I probably shouldn't tell people about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, do you look over to people in the drive-thru like, man, you
Peasants.
suckers. Yeah, you peasants.
And I looked to see what cars were out to the street, and I was like, I'm going to beat all them folks out the door.
Oh, you'll beat them by far.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, usually as soon as I pull in, man, they just walk right out to me. It's great. Yes, sir. Shout out to
McDonald's.
them. Yeah. Tommy Hill, folks.
Yes.
All right. What the hell are we going to talk about?
I mean, there's just a plethora of stuff.
Let's get our Eddie bashings up right up front.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's bash Eddie real good. What can we tell us a good Eddie
I'm really
story.
looking forward to Thursday. I can tell you that. I am.
Didn't he put some on Facebook the other day?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Huh. What was it?
Yeah, he was talking some trash.
Was he?
Yeah.
Is that's the little picture he sent me with his bald spot?
Yeah, flexing.
He had that bald spot I saw in his dirty mirror. His house looked very unorganized too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
What do you think's going on over there?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Well, he's in love.
I thought the man looked impeccable.
Did you?
I did.
I couldn't get over the filth.
Oh my goodness. Well, Eddie, obviously you'll have to address that. I thought you looked very, very good, my friend.
Oh, it'll tear you up.
He won't sleep.
He won't sleep.
No.
And he'll put it all over Facebook. I cleaned, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, filthy.
He gets smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's you guys work together at Kroger's.
Oh yeah.
How many years you have in there?
28.
28. You're knocking on
man.
it, right? What is it? Is that a 30-year deal? 35, isn't it? Not anymore. Used to be.
So you're
We got to
65
go to
or
our
what?
65. I'll have 47 or 48 years in.
Really? My Uncle Dennis, rest in peace. He had in like 40-some at General Mills, and he just passed away. That's my biggest fear. I'm going to work on Kelly's Nam's dad. Yep. That's my and Chad's old ex-father-in-law.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Good man. Good man. He really woke me up on this whole work until I, die thing, because he worked, by God.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, man, that's freaky. How you
Yeah.
can just work all your life and you just bam.
And it happens frequently.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a very common thing. It seems like as soon as somebody retires and lets down, boom.
You're kind of pot committed at 28. You gonna ride it out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
I've had other interests and opportunities.
It's a great. It's actually a great place to be as far as around here.
Well, people's got to eat, so I don't
Yeah.
see it going anywhere anytime soon. So
Yeah.
No. I mean that's. Well, and I mean, you guys are the main gig in town as far as, I guess there's Walmart that's competition, but,
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the programs that Kroger's does with the younger people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works, but I know that I've talked to a lot of young people that they do a lot for. They give away some scholarships, don't they? I mean, a lot of your money really does go right back into local stuff. So I've always thought that was cool. But I want to bring you in and talk about DJing, man. You have been, there was two of you whenever that kind of sparked my interest in it. That was you and Ryan Potter.
Yep.
Ryan P-Funk. P-Funk, man. You and him kind of, and you probably did. Now he did it more like you were a traveling setup where he kind of he DJ'd at the bar for a while.
Yeah.
So which is two totally different things.
Oh yeah.
Two totally different. And now you actually did that because you for 13 years were the head DJ or the Friday night DJ at the pub.
Yep.
So I mean, you kind of had best of both worlds there, and so did he. You guys both did it. I never did DJ in a club. I just something I never did. If I was in the club, I was playing. But I've always admired you guys because you guys can work a room just as good as a band can.
Well, actually, when I first got started, I did a few Saturdays out to the Jolly Lounge.
Did you?
Whenever they didn't have bands.
What years would that have been? 90s?
Oh, gosh.
Early 2000s? Bands went
99, early 2000.
Bands went away, didn't they? Bands were hot in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, maybe early 90s. You hear about some stuff?
Mike, he was the one that was managing it, and Sally was behind the bar.
What was Mike's last name? I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his last name.
Yeah.
I mean, I can picture what the guy looked like.
Yeah. Is that the guy from Bowling Alley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I know who he's talking about. I can't think of what his last name was.
I can't either. Shit. It's going to bother me.
Hey, if you know who it is, shoot us a text.
It's going to bother me. I remember those times, though. So you did it out there like Thursday nights?
I didn't do Thursday nights. There were some Saturday nights where the bands just weren't booked.
Yeah.
So
you'd go out there and do it then?
Yeah.
So how are you switching music back then? CDs? Oh, God. See, I missed that.
Crates and crates of CDs.
You had to pack in all those crates.
When I went digital, it took me 3.5 months switching everything from CDs to MP3.
Were you ever tape?
No.
Is that how they did that for the CDs?
I think before CDs, they did it mainly off of records.
Yeah.
How did you organize those CDs, man?
I was just thinking, you imagine doing that off a record, trying to know what the hell where that song is.
Oh my God!
You really studied spines, so you knew what the spine of a CD looked like.
Yeah. I mean, because it's not like you got all day to fish around it.
No.
I mean,
No.
So they would have been probably. You're probably right. Did the old man? Did he turn tables? Old man of rock and roll.
I don't think that he did.
So what would he use?
I think Greg was just doing CDs whenever I was out there.
Well, no, he would have been before the days of CDs. Though.
Yeah, I would say way back in the day, he
8-track.
probably was using either 8 tracks or
Yeah, I wonder how the
turntable.
hell they did it.
I don't know.
I've never heard of
I
him.
think you'd about have to use the turntable, man, because tapes you'd constantly be rewinding and fast forward.
Well, it
trying
ain't
to
like
find
you
a
wouldn't have to
spot.
do that. It wouldn't ain't like you wouldn't have to do that with a record player.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more,
Yeah.
I mean, you can touch and drop, but I mean, you probably miss a few times. I mean,
Well, that's like today. You'll get people that'll be like, "Now, do you like scratch and do all that stuff?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a performance DJ." Yeah.
They still do though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I tried to
there's-
find one. I couldn't find any
Yeah.
for the bar.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be cool to have.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be. Do you ever think about you'll want to do that?
Probably not so
Yeah.
much.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to like scratch now. You can hit buttons.
Oh yeah, there's.
You just
I mean, I've looked at the controllers and
Yeah.
stuff, and I mean, they can make it sound just like you're behind the decks of a couple turntables.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You can do that on your phone.
Oh yeah,
On your
yeah.
phone,
There's apps.
There's apps that'll do that. It's crazy how quick that shit's running, isn't it?
It just.
I couldn't keep up with
In
it.
the blink of an eye, technology just goes bam. And
So you'd pack in. How many CDs was you packing in that back in?
I had 4 suitcases that held 300 CDs each, so 1,200, and then I'd have the thing like you had in your car.
Rolodex? Or?
Yep, and you just go through there.
God. Do you remember? Would there have been awkward silences?
No, I mean I kept
You
it
could-
rolling. I
yeah.
had a dual deck.
yeah, I was
but,
going to say, what was
when-
the setup? Did you just run 2 decks or
Yeah.
how many? Okay.
Yeah, and the mixer just.
But
was
you're
running the
busy
two
as
decks.
shit, though.
Oh, and they'll come up and go, "Hey, I want to hear this song next." I'm like, "You'll hear that song whenever I find
At
it.
some point, yeah.
We'll get to it here in the next 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be next probably."
Would you give them a catalog?
No,
No. They just ask you if you.
and that's what was crazy. I mean, I was so into music then. If someone came up and said, "Hey, do you got this?" I could tell you if I had that song on one of them
Yeah.
1,200 CDs.
So you're spending at that time. Weren't CDs? I was trying to think about this the other day. Weren't CDs like I'm talking whenever you'd go buy them, and they would come in that long sleeve
Box, yeah.
I was thinking, weren't CDs back then like $29.99?
They were up there.
Yeah,
I
$24.99.
thought I was thinking like in there, but didn't we get to a day where they were like $15.99, $17.99? Like,
Oh, now they're cheap.
now I don't even know. I mean, shit, I can't tell you last time I bought a CD, but
Yeah.
Now you can get them for about $8-9.
oh, I'd say, yeah.
And some of them even cheaper if they've been out for a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. And what they're doing is they're just buying that on Spotify for $8.99.
Yeah. I wonder what whatever happened to like Columbia House Records, where you'd sign
They're
up.
probably
and
still
get
sending some of the
15
bitches
free
CDs.
Do you think so?
Probably.
Hell, they're probably still sending me bills. I don't know.
You know what? Think about that, dude. I mean, I got exposed to a lot of music via Columbia House.
Oh my God, dude!
Yeah.
How many times did you sign up for the first time?
Probably 4.
Because that was the main thing. Like
Yeah.
it kind of sucked after you got those first, 20 tapes or whatever.
Yeah. What was it that made you get out of it after that?
I mean, they give you like 15 for a penny, then you got to buy 6 at regular price over the next year.
and then you're
Which was a big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then, and
It
then
was.
you could- well, and I wondered, think how many people defaulted on that contract.
Oh, I'm sure there was
I
plenty.
mean, I remember one time I went rogue. I didn't, I was young enough that I didn't really understand the concept of cost on stuff, and I had talked my parents into letting me do a Columbia House deal, and I got the original things, and they'd send you that little catalog.
Oh yeah.
And I got looking through there, man. I bought like a Motley Crue shirt. I filled out the card without checking with mom and dad. And I mean, I loaded myself up with 2-3 T-shirts, a hat, 4 or 5.
You just thought it was
Well, I mean, I knew better.
Giving tree.
I knew better, and I was quickly reminded. I had to work that one off.
That's what I'm saying. If
That didn't go over well.
6 CDs, I mean, that would have been like asking for a Nintendo.
Oh God, yeah, you're over $100, dude. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because they were expensive. They were $24.99.
Yeah,
That wasn't
yeah.
something you just getting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where would you find your music? Criminal Records, probably.
Yeah.
That was that here? No, that was 2 doors down.
2 doors now. I think it's where the tattoo shop is now.
Yeah.
Is that what
I
it
think
was?
so, yeah.
I bought probably my whole school wardrobe there.
They had everything.
They had
Dude,
it,
I loved that store.
I did too.
Back in the 90s.
But
man,
you know,
80s.
there's no way they can survive.
Oh, now, I mean,
now,
I mean, is there...
They're like the movie rental places. I mean,
Where do you buy CDs now? Seriously, like...
Is that place in Chillicothe still open?
no.
No, I
don't
don't
think so.
What was that place? SEY or
FYE?
FYE?
Yeah, that was a chain, like a national chain or something.
Yeah.
But hell,
What are you going to do if you're them?
I
You're
mean,
out.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, you're out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Where do they sell them now?
I don't know. I'm sure you could still buy an artist record, couldn't you?
Probably. Like I bet like a bookstore or something like the big what is
Barnes
the
and
one?
Nobles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those. Like they used to have a music section. I bet they still do. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know why you would. I was thinking about that not too long ago. Why would you ever buy other than
I don't
digital?
know that I've got the capability of listening to a CD in my house right now. Maybe on an alarm
maybe.
clock or
Nah,
something.
I got Bose. I got one of them Bose. What's in Bose stations?
I got a
Yeah,
little
I got a
Sony
Bose, yeah.
Walkman CD that I can,
Yeah.
throw
you
some
check it.
headphones in and listen to.
Yeah.
if I have to.
Gibson's
yeah.
probably got a karaoke machine or something there.
Yeah.
Do something, man.
Oh yeah, karaoke machine.
There's
That's-
something you got big into. You got big into the karaoke.
Yeah, and that wasn't by choice. There was so many people that asked for that.
Oh, I refused it.
And I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to get stuck getting into this because you don't want to lose gigs because that's what people wanted.
and that's what they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, you've done bars and then also the weddings and all that kind of stuff. Is there one you preferred?
Oh, the weddings.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, walk us through, man. How'd you get started? When? And then when did you decide, was it the first time you did it? You're like, damn, man, I like this.
Well,
I'm going to get after this.
In '97, my first wife, her aunt was getting married, and I've always had a bunch of music, and I had a nice stereo system, so they just was like, hey, why don't you do it? So I was like, all right. So I figured out a way to rig up a microphone to my system.
What kind of stereo system are you rocking back?
Oh, it was two of the Pioneer speakers. It was like this. I mean,
shit, you had the nice stuff.
It had a rig.
It had some thump to it. I mean,
Yeah.
Why did you have that?
I guess just because I like to listen
He's
to
a music
so
guy,
much.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
What were they like? 12s?
yeah.
12?
Yeah, it was like 212s.
So you're
and a
rocking
couple
212s in the bedroom?
Oh yeah.
Hey, was there just like a mic input
Well,
that you could put in there?
I
or-
got me a cheap little mixer at Radio
Yeah.
Shack that I
Yeah.
could run a mic into.
Yeah.
And after I got done doing that, I had two people come up and he was like, "What do you charge to do wedding receptions?" I was like, "I don't do wedding receptions. I'm not a DJ. This is just for a family member."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, we'd kind of like what you did, and we'd like to have you at our wedding and our reception. So, give us a number."
Yeah.
And from there, it just snowballed.
It was it literally like that. Like you kind of fell into it almost.
Yeah.
Like because
Those
somebody
two
liked
gigs
what you did,
turned into 2 or 3 more gigs, and
it
from
just
there,
kind of spider
it just,
webbed
yeah.
out. Just man.
It's a pretty good little career. If somebody we were talking about this for the show.
Well, when did you start buying equipment and stuff, man?
Well, after I did 4 wedding receptions, I went to my dad. I was like, I think I can probably, get into this. I was like, let me go price some equipment. And he was like, I'll float you a loan for whatever you need.
Okay.
So I went over to Studio, I think it was Studio E in Athens.
In Athens, yeah.
Yeah.
Got some powered speakers.
Oh, you
mixer.
got powered back then.
Yeah. And they were heavy though. I mean, they were.
See, that was kind of like nobody messed with powered stuff. Whenever I first got into playing music, it was all passive, and now it's all powered.
Yeah, everything's powered
Everything's
now.
powered.
But I mean, they had them back then. But
How did you know what you wanted, man?
it was just kind of trial and error, going in and talking to the guys at the store,
Hearing
and being
stuff.
like, being like, hey, this is what I'm looking at getting. What do you recommend? And
Yeah. Man, and this stuff has came so far. That old stuff sounded really good. Like it's got a great sound, but this new stuff,
it's great.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that technology's helping that business. Now there'll be people argue that, So you do those. So that's in 1997.
Mhm.
So you were doing parties, and then when did you start at the pub? 13 years ago? No.
Oh no. Well, I did all of Jackson High School's dances for ages.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. In '97 I would have just been getting out of school, so you probably just missed me.
Yeah.
You probably was at like the 2000s and those people.
But
I think we had Rockin' Reggie or somebody.
Yeah.
He's still doing it, isn't
Yep, over in Parkersburg, I think is where he's located out of. But
he was doing my middle school dances.
Yeah, he's still in the ball game. And
who was doing our dances, man? I don't remember. Is that who we had?
I think my senior year prom we had Susie Wad.
Oh yeah, we did too. My senior year we did too. We'd always bring
Wad.
somebody from like either 99.7 the Blitz or 97.9.
She was a radio DJ from up in Columbus.
It was always a radio DJ.
Have you ever had any interest in doing that? Like doing radio stuff?
Not really. No.
Not really. It's not. Yeah, it's a different thing, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. It's just because if you're a radio DJ. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it is.
Well, it used to be back then, like when it was. I know our dances, like proms and stuff like that. Like it seemed like all of those big radio stations had some sort of a DJ service with almost any of their DJs.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like one time for one of the proms I went to, we had like Mark the Shark from one of those, and he was like generally a sports guy or something. But but he did a heck of a job.
They just had that mic presence, and they could get on the mic.
Get on the mic, yeah.
And that's probably what it comes down to, right? I
mean, a lot of it.
Because like to be a DJ, you have to have some form of mic presence.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I've been there where DJs, some of them maybe they're too much. And others not enough. I mean, like, how do you learn that balance?
Well, that's what I tell brides. I say, I will be as involved or uninvolved as you want me to be. If you want me to get on the mic and say, hey, we're going to do the electric slide, let's get out on the dance floor, I'll show you how to do it if you don't know how. It's up to you on what you want.
That's where you separated the men from the boys, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
you were good at that. I never did do that.
The cha-cha slide, okay, you don't know how to do it? Come on, we'll go out, we'll teach everybody.
Then he'd get up and you'd sing him a karaoke song at the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd get it going. You were good at that.
And I mean, whenever I did the karaoke stuff, I forewarned them all. I'm not a singer.
But I'll do what I got to do to get you guys out here.
I'll entertain you for a little bit. I'll make a fool of myself first before I'll get you guys up here doing it.
You took skill in your craft.
Yeah.
You did. I mean, it's I always admired that. I always thought you did a great job at that, man. Because it didn't matter if it was at a wedding or a bar or
So you would leave it up to, like, for instance, if it's a reception, you leave it up to the bride or whatever, like, and you can be like, hey, look, I'll MC this whole thing, get it going and talk the whole time, or I'll just play music. Or,
I mean, if you don't want me to be overbearing and,
I would think most of them would want.
That's generally what you got.
I mean, I would think that because that's kind of what you need at a wedding when you think about it, a reception. You got to have somebody kind of directing what's next.
Yeah.
I've said for years, your wedding planner's damn near your DJ.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because they keep you going.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
it's a pretty good call.
It's up to that DJ to keep that wedding moving.
Yeah.
And because if you'll blink and you'll be 2 hours in, you ain't done nothing, no dances or nothing. And I mean, they forget because 50 million people's coming up to them. And I mean, they need a DJ they can work with.
Yep. You have to be able to direct traffic and let everybody know what the flow of the whole reception
now
is.
Now it's time to cut the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll go out and you'll meet Tommy will vouch, but you'll go out and meet them whenever they get to wherever you're going. So you got to be set up. You got to be ready to go. You got to have the playlist already going for the pregame. Okay, giving yourself enough time to go out and talk to the bride before they walk in. Get it all squared away.
But there's already music playing.
There's already music playing.
People are coming in. And do you have like a pre-selected kind of playlist you go with on something like that?
Depends on wedding.
Yeah, it depends on your crowd.
Okay.
But I mean, like
yes,
like the shirt that I had on the other night. The back of my shirts for my DJ business says "First one to arrive, last one to leave."
Promise you.
And that's the life of the DJ. You're there way before anybody else, and at the end of the night, you're the last one there walking out the door.
You're playing music while they're cleaning up. Yeah. Those were late nights.
Yeah, and I mean that's why whenever people kind of bat their eye whenever you throw them a price out there. And you're
well, how many times does this happen at a reception, man? Where like people are like, "Hey, Tommy, will you give us another hour?"
Oh,
hey, will you give us another hour?
It got to where my price for overtime at the reception was double what it was if you contracted it.
Oh yeah.
Because I've ran into some of them that ran till 4 a.m.
And would you generally stay and just keep charging them the overtime?
They'd pass the hat. Come up.
Yeah.
How long we got you for? Well, we're good for a few hours now.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I never did do that. I was always just a flat price, and then I played till they wanted me to stop.
So you because a lot of times those can get a little undetermined, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, my biggest fear was, just like a bride or whoever, do they have their wallet? Do they, are they, are you just creating more work? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's an awkward moment for a second.
Well, I did it mainly for planning because where I do work full time.
Yeah, you might have to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm scheduled at 5 or 6 and I'm not packing up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was supposed to quit at 10:30 the night before.
You had to do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because if not, it's hard for me to plan my next day.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't miss it ruining my Sundays.
No,
because you'd be out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and get home and man, I mean you're just done, aren't you?
Yo, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Well, I mean the difference in if you're working a reception, I mean, unlike if you're working a bar or a club, that's got a fixed time that it closes.
Right.
Like receptions, I mean those things can go, as long as you're willing to stay.
Especially the ones in the middle of fields.
Oh, my outdoor ones, I imagine.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
I always loved when I pulled into a real nice venue because I was like, I'll be out of here at a certain time tonight, boys.
Like no
They're not going to be breaking out the moonshine at this one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you take a good cornfield or something, or a good field party.
Next thing you know, you look out there and they're building a big bonfire. And you're like, oh, God. Be here. See you tomorrow morning.
Coming. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, great.
Oh,
See
yeah.
you tomorrow morning. Yeah.
We'll be here a while.
Yeah.
Who was your funnest wedding?
Oh my gosh. My funnest wedding was probably, I did Coach Blackstone's daughters up in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
And,
Jessica.
Yeah, and I mean, they was just a great group. I mean, they stayed out there and they danced. They had fun. They interacted, and
You probably knew a lot of them too.
yeah,
Yeah.
It was Coach out there cutting it up.
not so much.
Okay.
He got Debbie out there and did a little slow dancing. A little bit,
Okay, but there wasn't a whole lot of.
Yeah, he wasn't out there.
No electric slide or
No,
anything like that. So that surprises me.
No, I mean, I'm afraid if he got out there in the middle of the dance floor, some Sam Huff or something would break out and he'd start throwing
A
shoulders.
little bow in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. What was was that your favorite event you ever did?
Yeah.
You've done events. You've been the man in the park. You've done
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a lot of events. You've emceed. You've been all around that business, man.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
around.
I've went as far as Cincinnati down on the riverboats up and down through there doing stuff, down to
I was
Charleston.
going to ask you what's the
Yeah,
farthest you went.
that's what I was going to ask too. Like,
Actually, Coach Blackstone's brother, Barry, his son-in-law, Mike Furry, who's I used to go up and do the Mike Furry Foundation up there in
Detroit
it was up above Columbus there in Delaware.
Yeah.
And I did that, I think, 4 years in a row. And
man.
the first year I charged, and then once I saw what that was all about,
Yeah, you're like, I'm not.
after that I was like, you guys just pay for my gas and I'll be here.
Yeah.
And I mean, they took care of me.
Yeah. What a great group of dudes.
What is it?
The Mike Furry Foundation?
Yeah.
It's a organization where he goes into like children's hospital and stuff, and they take baskets of hope to kids that are terminally ill. And,
Oh, yeah.
they did auctions, and, there was players.
You still do it?
Now that he's in Chicago,
No.
He's coaching for the Bears now.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
he's a wide receivers coach for the Bears.
Okay. All right. Yes, that was a big deal.
Oh, yeah, because he went from, to Kentucky Christian University, Marshall.
And that's probably where when he stopped with those things, right?
Yeah.
When he got into coaching again.
Yeah. Well, his foundation is still going.
Okay.
I think it's his sister-in-law that kind of takes the reins of it now.
Okay.
But
Well, I mean, he went to Kentucky Christian did he go to Marshall before Limestone or after?
he went to Marshall first.
Then
I think.
Limestone, then the Bears.
Yeah.
So you went and you did his event up there, and then you said to Charleston. So you've bounced all around then.
Yeah.
So do you work pretty much all over the tri-state then, or
Yeah.
at one point?
Yeah.
Or I mean,
And you'll still do events. You were going to do did you do the park this year? Did they do something this year?
Yeah.
This past year? I can't remember.
I just played music. They didn't have any
No bands
musicians
or
or anything
anything
like that up there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't blame them. Not last year. So that had to hurt you. Well, you were kind of looking to take a break anyway.
oh yeah, because I mean it does get taxing.
Oh yeah, we were
whenever
talking about
you
that
get too busy.
before. Yeah, it.
now, or would you say, Tom? I mean, obviously with COVID and everything, everybody's been slow. But like, had you kind of? You said you took like a couple of years where you just kind of took off a little
Yeah.
bit. Now, have you did you come back where you were doing it a ton, or not as much as what you once did, or?
Not a ton, but I mean, I did start picking it back up a little bit just here and there, just because.
But not every weekend.
No, no.
Did you just miss it?
I don't know if I missed it as much as I just like got to the point where I'm like, that equipment's sitting out there just going to waste, and you know, I could be going out.
I know.
Because I mean,
Well, heck, y'all start a podcast like we did. Man.
That's what we did.
Yeah. Pudge did some nice repurposing of his equipment.
Yeah.
That's basically what I did. Why I did it.
yeah,
If I wanted to go play a show
as well
right
use
now,
it.
I'd have to come up here and tear apart most of our shit and get these mics.
Yeah.
Other than the speakers. That's what I was thinking today. What do I do with my trailer? What do I do? You know, I mean, am I going to keep this stuff? I mean, it's kind of nice for storage, but
right.
it's like that. Because, man, dude, people underestimate. I always did the amount of work it was.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Well,
you're the roadie, you're everything.
Well,
everything.
you guys were talking before the show a little bit about that, you know, the setup process when you're DJing, and you were just getting into that like before reception. Everybody that's been in a band that's been on here makes the comment of like, get your own sound guy and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you start lugging that stuff in and out and doing
a lot of work, man.
I mean, that has to be one of the worst parts of it. I
Yeah.
mean, once you're set up and doing the show, that's probably fun. But then you're sitting there thinking, man, I still got an hour at least worth of work in packing all this stuff back out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Did you leave your stuff a lot?
No,
I left mine. If I was local, I'd leave it.
I always
get it the
packed
next
it up at the
day.
end of the
Yeah.
night. That way, I didn't have to worry about going back out and picking stuff up.
Man,
I was just always like,
I've had to walk in the pub many Sunday mornings or Johnny's or Stockroom, wherever, you know, and grab my shit. Just because I'd usually just say, man, I'm not doing it tonight.
yeah,
You're just tired and like
Just tired, yeah. Because it is, man. It's exhausting.
yeah.
Like you
Well, I
just
mean,
get home.
that's a lot of physical work, dude.
You're not
I mean,
kidding.
The trailer helped.
Oh yeah.
The trailer helps a bunch.
is that
first
why
2
everybody
years-
has one of those?
Yeah,
I mean,
lugging it, getting up in the truck. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like you just get enough to where you got to get up in the truck.
Yeah, you talk about work. The first 2 years I did it before I got a trailer,
yeah.
I loaded it in and out of a bed of a S10 pickup truck.
Oh my.
Yeah. Did you have cover?
No,
No.
I tarped it all up, and
Did you?
away I went whenever I'd
Scared to death.
Oh yeah, you see dark clouds off the horizon. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You probably had cases though, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was.
And man, that stuff's so expensive.
But now
It's
you
ridiculous.
guys were talking though earlier. I mean, let's go into this a little bit. There is now equipment has evolved to where you can
It's still
basically
expensive.
throw it in your backpack and walk in and out, or
Well,
tuck it under a couple of arms, or does that kind of sacrifice the quality of your show?
There's no packing it. I mean, my trailer is well. I can tell you how much stuff I have because when it got stolen this past year,
Yeah,
that's
itemized it,
right.
didn't
I had to inventory it. I had $11,000 worth of equipment in that trailer.
Oh my goodness!
you? Yeah.
I mean, now, well, like, and with you, where you add in the karaoke and stuff, heck, you have to have like a TV screen and stuff like that too, don't you? I mean,
Yeah,
You always stayed ahead of the game. I didn't.
monitors and vocal processors. Because I mean, if people get up to do karaoke, you want them to,
want
sweeten them
sound
up a little.
decent. Yeah,
you want
yeah.
to sweeten them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and you would run all yours off of an iPad or run your
Yeah, I had a laptop.
laptop and everything. You had the stand and
Yeah.
What did you run? Like, what karaoke platform did you use?
It was a PC DJ, and then they had a karaoke plugin for their
okay.
program
Where you
to
bring
run
up the
karaoke.
words and
Yep,
everything.
And it just
It was there, and there's a library of songs.
Well, I actually did the CDG disc for a long time. So whenever I ripped music from MP3s from regular disc, at that same time, I was ripping karaoke CDs.
Oh, okay.
so you had to do that then. Where would you rip your music from? So I'm talking like early 2000s whenever that started. Did you get into that, like burning your own CDs?
When
No.
did you become all digital?
Oh, gosh. I've probably been all digital for 15 years, I would say.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still using the original laptop that I bought back then. It's strictly nothing but
Music.
karaoke.
Yeah.
I've ripped everything out of it, and
Yeah.
that's all it's used for.
Okay.
Huh. What is it?
It's just a little Dell,
Just a little laptop, just a
yeah,
and you're-
1510.
and you've been using it for 15 years.
Yeah.
Same one. Mm-hmm. What I ran into this at your wedding. Whenever I did your wedding, I lost a song on DJ Mix Pro. Like that software was cool, but it was free.
Yeah.
Like, man, it would.
And every now and then it'd remind you of its price tag.
Yeah, and I remember one night I was at the pub and I was looking at your rig and I was like, damn, Tommy's got this shit figured out. And it was one of those deals where, like, remember you talked about a little bit ago, 3.5 months.
Yeah.
It was like, man, that DJ Mix Pro, it's already in there. It's like, it's a big step to like completely upgrade your whole. I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
it would have taken me a lot where I was just going and plugging in and doing my thing. Every now and then I'd have a mishap, you know. I was doing somebody else's wedding and the song didn't play whenever they was walking down the aisle. Did you ever have any of those bobbles?
I had only one occasion that a song like buffered. For whatever reason. I mean, it was playing right off the hard drive during a father-daughter dance. And other than that, since 97, so how many years is that?
Hey, dude, that's a pretty good track record.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's 24 years.
24 years.
But I mean, I was pretty meticulous about, I would go through.
So you've only had like one sound mishap.
Yeah.
And that was
Way better than me.
Had you lost a file or what, man? Like,
I don't know what happened.
CD skip.
Well, it was off of a hard drive, and the
Okay.
only thing I could think of was I noticed that the sound, I was getting like some ground hum. I don't think what I was plugged into
There was another thing.
was clean,
Yep.
and I think it actually made the electric kind of hiccup.
Yep.
So it caused.
There's so many things that goes into this, man. Like you'd get into a situation and they'd have plug-ins. It'd be like an old, like I remember one time I played somewhere in like outskirts of Waverly or somewhere, and they had plug-ins, but none of them had a ground. And you're in some old building, you know, and it's just like, man, like and everything's hot, you know, you can't touch anything.
Yeah,
and it's just.
Well, I mean, you were talking about like just the significance of one cord going bad, or cable, or
we were out to War X. We served the beer and just kind of didn't MC it, but we talked.
Yeah,
and played music and stuff. I had a cord, and I was here. You are. You're 15 miles outside town.
Yeah, you're at Richard's Brothers.
Your stuff's you're at Richard. Well, and where are you gonna go get it anyway?
right.
You know, and so you're 15 miles away from anything, any chance, and your stuff's set up. What do you do?
Yeah.
You're stuck. You know, did that ever happen to you?
No,
Jesus Christ, you're a unicorn.
He must be a Boy Scout, man. Do you like have like all the backup stuff?
I carry extra cables and all that stuff. Like if I find a good deal on cables, I throw them in
Well,
the tote.
and yeah,
you never know.
I always had extra, but like this was the one thing I didn't have extra, you know, is what I needed. But I mean, I always had extra.
And whenever I got my trailer back, I went through all the stuff, and there was some of that stuff I was like, I haven't touched this in forever. I'm gonna get rid of it. And I'm like, nah, I better leave
never
that
know.
in there.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Those adapters and just
Yep.
different things. But you know, buying good equipment. Chad was asking me when did I buy all this equipment. I was like, man, just one time I collected a lot of it through the years, but one time I decided that it was time to upgrade and buy good stuff. So I bought like the EVs. Those were like the best thing that I bought at the time. Those are great. I love those.
Did you have a time like that, Tom, where you're like, all right, man, I've been going by at this on a shoestring budget or whatever. I'm upgrading my gear.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if it was due to the budget or it was due to my back.
Yeah. You wanted something
I had a set of JBL's TR225s that weighed 97 pounds a piece.
But damn, they're good.
And they sounded sweet, but
they're good.
you know, and to push those things, that was a passive speaker, so I had to have a amp in my rack that weighed close to 90 some pounds also to push them. And that rack itself weighed close to 160 pounds.
That's where that powered stuff's just, it's great.
Yeah, they got those Class D amplifiers in them. You know,
It sounded great,
40
but
pounds,
but moving it in and out is like
back-breaking.
Yeah.
I love that QSC shit, man.
Oh,
Best.
they thump hard. I mean, they're crystal clear.
I'm going to Nashville this weekend. Whenever I go down there, I'm always interested in what they're running those house sounds through, because that'll, whatever they're running theirs through are legit, because they just drive the sound.
They're probably K Series QSCs. Guaranteed.
That's what they were last time I was there. And they'd be only running like 10s and 12s.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have them big ones.
And they get so much sound out of just a little tiny speaker.
It blows your mind.
Yeah. But they're what are they? Are they 2,000 watts?
They might be 2,400.
Man, they're just
The
monsters.
newer ones.
Yeah. And how much are you talking for a 12 now of those? A 12 and a 2400 watt, I'd say you're probably, what, $1,099
Probably. I'd say every bit of $1,000
per speaker.
per speaker.
So, but now you could take two of those little tiny ones. I'm talking this big, and you could go do just about anything you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just about anything.
Well, and that's where you get into people whenever they call you about doing the reception. The first thing they want to know is what you charge. And then they're like, well, we got an iPod, and my brother-in-law, he's got like a little sound system.
Fired up, boys.
Yeah.
That's what I tell
Go
them.
get it.
Okay,
Nobody will
you
hear
know,
it.
and he's got a microphone, and he's got lights, and well, no, and he's ran a reception, and he knows what he's doing as far as getting the flow of everything. Well, no, not really. Well, you're looking at X amount of dollars for lights.
Yeah.
If you want a mixer with a mic,
Yep.
and once they get to thinking of the dollars and the
experience that's going to be provided.
Yeah, I mean, because
well, I mean, they're paying you for a reason, dude.
right. I mean, the odds are
You're building the show.
When you go to a reception, whenever people leave, do you want them to say, "Man, that was the best cake I've ever had," or do you want them to say, "Man, that was the best party that I've been to in a long time. We had a blast."
Yeah.
You're the second call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First call's the venue. Second call's DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's usually.
I
what
mean,
it is.
if you're going to pay $700 for someone to make you a cake, I would make sure that I've set aside a nice little chunk of the budget to
Yeah.
make sure
that the reception's fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
truthfully,
absolutely.
it ought to be about it. If you're going to stay on par with what else is going on in that wedding, that should be about $1,000 ordeal.
Yeah.
I was, depending on what I did, a lot of times I'd play the wedding, like I'd play music at
Right.
the wedding, and then you'd have to go to a reception. So if it required two sound systems, I had to upcharge for that because you'd have one set up and one tear down.
Yeah.
One set up, one tear down. And it depending on if your preacher needed wireless mic, or you always tried to have some sort of system to where they had a lapel mic or something.
Yep.
Did you carry lapels?
I have a separate 600-watt Bluetooth speaker that I can run the ceremony music off of.
Yeah.
Plug in a lapel for the groom.
Yep.
Wireless handheld for the officiant. And,
So is the DJ often involved in the ceremony? Or is that just like when they're getting married and having the reception at the same venue?
Well, if they don't get married in a church, then you got to worry about sound.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But
And last year I had probably 4 or 5 of those. That was
that's becoming a hot thing.
So how does that work with, like you said, you got to be the first guy there, last to leave.
Oh.
How do you have your reception up ready to go and then go to the ceremony and get
sound
all that
systems.
ready to go? I mean,
2 sound systems.
okay. And
That or
you're
get-
there before the whole thing, setting up everything. I mean, setting up the reception prior to,
Yep.
you literally become one of the.
You're part of it.
You're part of the.
You might as well, like you said, you might as well be the wedding planner.
Yeah.
Or a piece of it. I mean,
Yeah. I think I'd say my funnest was probably. I had lots of fun ones. Those are great if you know them.
Yeah.
Man, those are fun. I went to Cleveland one time and had a great time. I took Aaron Stafford with me, and he did drone work. And
Oh, yeah.
we got home at like 6 a.m. the next morning, and I think we left Jackson at like 10 a.m. Get up there, maybe 9. Get up there, get us all set up. He had to do his drone work, and I did the wedding. I played at the wedding and then played at the reception, and we ended up one of them night we just shut her down at 1 or 2, and head back, and you're 6 a.m. getting back. But I'd say locally, my funnest was probably Jake and Amber Byler.
Okay.
Man, and it was in the fairgrounds, one of them buildings up there at the fairgrounds.
Yep.
Which are sound nightmares, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
God, they're horrible.
They echo so bad.
Oh, yeah. But they just were right in my wheelhouse as far as what I liked and what they liked was the same thing. And they
just in sync.
and we were in sync. And, and I'll tell you, that's the same feeling you get with a band. I mean,
probably.
you felt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you ever wondered what it felt like to lead a band, that's what it feels like. I
Right.
mean, it's the same thing. It's whenever the crowd's jiving, the crowd's jiving.
How many? I mean, between the two of you guys, think of how many different venues you've been in
I'd
and
say
set
between,
up.
I'd say
and
between
done-
two of us, we've been everywhere south of Columbus by far.
Oh, I mean, my goodness! I mean,
Yeah.
clear to Charleston, probably.
Yeah.
At least Huntington.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing that I think would be the biggest challenge is, no doubt, every venue is a little bit different as far as the sound or the setup or where they're going to put you, where they're, and like you basically got to walk in there and within probably the first 10 or 15 minutes you're there, figure out, okay, this is how I'm going to set it up.
Well, that's why you get your setup down quickly. That was one of the first. That was one of the first lessons I learned is I'll worry about me.
Yep.
Nobody else can worry about me. I'm going to worry about me. Here's my box. I take care of this box.
You get it down to a science.
Yeah, and like people jump in. Oh, let me help. Nope. Don't touch it.
Please don't touch anything.
Because I have the science. I have this, this pattern that I do, and that's what I do.
And that's how it is at the end of the night. Whenever you're packing out, people are like, "Well, here, I'll help you."
It's funny that you said that, Tommy, because I offered to help pick up when you played our wedding. You're like, no, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I had a system.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait on everybody to leave, and then you can back your trailer.
Are you just kind of meticulous about that? Like
that way you can
if too many people are putting hands on it,
you know where it is.
You're putting it back the way you put it in.
I had mine in the trailer to where it was FIFO, first in, first off.
Okay.
It's a puzzle when you put that stuff back. I mean, you got a spot for everything.
Yeah.
And the forks go where the forks go. The spoons go where the spoons go.
Exactly.
You have a system.
And if something was off, I wanted to know why.
Yeah.
What did I forget?
Yep.
But I carried everything right down to my own chair. It was.
I do the same.
Yeah, you do the same. And now I've seen these guys now. I don't think you ever did this. Maybe you did. They're getting these light panels like in front of their setup. Nolan Fast. He was out of Columbus. Dean Canner, Dean and Paula. It's their son-in-law.
Okay.
And he went to the Bridal Expo. And I saw him at the Bridal Expo. So he ended up getting some gigs down there at Park's Edge, and he had a slick setup, and he had good stuff.
I built me a facade there about 3 years ago.
Did you?
And got the LED lights that bounce off and light it up and glows.
Oh, do you? Do you still set it up?
Yeah.
Do you? Is it more? Did you just add more work to your genre? Is that what you did?
But I mean, it's nice because it hides a lot of your stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, people don't see anything at all.
You ain't mess with them old wrinkly ass tablecloths no more?
Nope.
I did that for a while too, didn't you?
Yeah. That's a nightmare.
That's a nightmare.
So what's the difference here? What are we talking about?
Like let's say you had you have a DJ setup.
Okay.
And you have like white.
Like a little curtain, you could have a tablecloth in front of it, right?
Well, no.
It's like a stretch spandex that you just stretch out in between a frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way it hides everything. Keeps everything all buttoned up.
And it's got lighting as part of it and stuff too.
You put your light down on the ground so that it just kind of shines up and bounces and it makes it kind of glow and pop. And,
okay. Cool.
Yeah. Was you a suit and tie guy? You still a suit and tie guy?
No.
You were.
I used to.
Yeah.
But anymore, I mean, like I tell, if you want me to wear a suit and tie,
I used to ask them what their colors were and what they wanted me to wear.
Like I tell them, I'm not there to steal the show or be like, hey, look at me. I'm like,
what do you normally wear? Like if you're doing a wedding, I didn't even thought about that until you said that.
I always asked them what they wanted.
And I can't even really remember the last wedding I was at what the DJ was wearing.
Most people will absolutely not care. Okay. I mean, as long as you're presentable and not showing up in holy blue jeans and a wife beater.
Yeah. So like you'll show up maybe a button-down shirt or something.
Oh yeah, and khakis. And if they want me to throw a jacket on, I'll throw a jacket on. But a lot of them understand that you're moving a lot. And
it's hot.
You're working.
Yeah, exactly. You're working.
You're working. Yeah. Your chef usually isn't wearing a suit.
Right. Right.
But he has on an outfit, or a uniform.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, what's acceptable?
It depends on the wedding.
Like, could you get away with wearing a pair of like dress jeans? I mean, shit, you can almost get away with that in corporate America now, man.
Yeah, I always at least wore slacks and
yeah.
And I may loosen the tie. But I always wore a tie though whenever I was doing that.
Yeah.
Whatever the wedding was, I'd wear that color.
I'd kind of leave it up to them.
Okay, you just ask.
Yeah.
But it's relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things. I mean, we can talk about your business, but Sound Blast DJ service, by the way.
Yeah.
But
shout out.
Yeah, but I was going to talk to you about just the changing times with music. I mean, like in the parties and the weddings, and just maybe this is just me. I see that they are really calming down.
Yeah.
Compared to what they used to be. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it seemed like they were, I'm not saying bad, but they were, they were
people were
balls to the
party.
wall.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, everybody just kind of just chill.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Kind of laid back.
Yeah.
Like, are you saying like the younger crowd maybe isn't?
Yeah, like
they're not the bangers that it used to be.
You weren't a banger.
No,
You were kind of a guy. Let's chill, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking back whenever we were all running around.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You really enjoyed sitting around listening to music and talking, having a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That seems to be what this new crowd is really
Not a
all
lot of
about.
dancing
Not
going on
not a
and
lot
stuff.
of dancing, wouldn't you say?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Yeah.
Used to. I mean, boy, they couldn't wait to dance.
What about karaoke participation with the youngsters? In, out? Was that a fad? Was that a 80s and 90s? Children of the 80s and 90s
That
thing?
is dependent on how much alcohol they have at the reception a lot of times. I mean, if they've got a lot of alcohol and they're partaking in it,
People
then
start thinking they want to sing.
there's going to be singers coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know people that just go just to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I did Stockroom Idol, that was I got my good dose of karaoke right there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but
I'll tell you what. Now listen. I gotta say, in 2 years of work travel, one of the best memories of me and the guys I work with, we were in Charleston, West Virginia, a little dive bar called the Bear's Den. So happens that on Thursday night, it's karaoke night.
all right.
And, I mean, we go to this place every time we're there, right? And I guess we'd never been there on a Thursday. Man, people start coming in. I mean, tons of people. And, like, they've got the book over there where you can choose what song you want. And, I mean, this guy's getting it all set up. And we're kind of looking at each other like, what is this going to be? Like, oh, God, karaoke. Let's get the hell out of here. And one of the guys was just like, let's just see where this goes. Man, that was a group that is serious about their karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed up. The shots started flowing as well as the songs.
Ooh.
And I mean, that group, they were probably the youngest person that sang might have been 40.
The youngest. Oh.
Yeah.
So
These people came out strictly to karaoke, and when they took the mic, they were serious.
You know what? That's a great point.
And it was enjoyable, man.
That's a great point. What I'm seeing, or what I was seeing, the young crowd ain't coming out.
No. They're not.
They're not, are they? Like, was I imagining this, or
No.
like,
I mean, it used to whenever the Moose Lodge was open and I did karaoke there, you're talking about you'd have 16, 17 singers in a rotation that would get to sing 2 or 3 songs at the end, in a 4-hour stretch.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, you literally would go through your 15, 16 singers, play a couple songs for them to get up and dance, and then you're right back into it because they're looking at you like,
Hey,
I'm
dude,
ready for
I'm
that
ready to
mic.
sing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
ready.
let's go.
Call my name.
Well, that's the way these people were. Like, I don't know that I'd ever been in a room where, like, I mean, these people showed up to karaoke.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, that bar completely took off, and it's like, well, I guess we've been coming here on the wrong night. Now, I'm not particularly a fan of karaoke, but seeing how serious these folks were,
Yeah.
it had a certain element of comedy and everything else. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like they can't. That's their night. That's their night to come out and party, dude. I mean, we're gonna go sing, and then there were certain obviously crowd favorites.
Oh, yeah.
That like, hey, when Travis gets up there and sings, I
you
mean,
wait.
get ready, and we got people nudging us like, well, Travis is next. I mean, watch out.
Yeah.
It's
He's
like,
in 2.
yeah,
Two more people than Travis.
Yeah, it's like, oh my guys.
They said he's on deck, guys. Come on.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
Travis is going to be singing.
I keep thinking of Travis Hughes.
Yeah, well, that's a good thought. It kind of looked like him.
Did he?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was him.
Oh.
I don't know.
He's
I
a music
I
guy.
wasn't that close. Wasn't that close to say. I bet he could do a hell of a karaoke.
Oh, I bet you. He
I
reminds me of
I watched him do a TikTok dance during COVID
you?
there on that Jackson County Strong site, and I thought I haven't seen Travis Hughes move like that since he played high school football.
How about that? Well, I mean, he obviously was blessed when he gave us that speech.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't remind him of that. You know what? I want to bring him on the show just so that he can give
I
that
keep
speech
trying to
again.
get him on here, and
want
he's
him
like-
to- well, he probably knows we'll bring that speech up.
He reminds me
Yeah.
of Whisper Bill Anderson.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
Travis was
It was
kind
my
of, I was there, so it's-
junior year.
yeah. Was it junior or was it? It might have been your senior year.
No, because you were there.
Oh yeah, okay. So it'd been junior.
it was either, it wasn't the year we went. I think it wasn't the year we went 10-0, was it?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were, but I know he was like kind of helping coach some of the younger levels and was back, and he was there. And on Thursday nights,
Junior year, because he went to Moorhead.
Yeah. So we all on Thursday nights, each coach would talk. I mean, and it wasn't
Pre-game.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a rah speech. I mean, it got a little carried away.
Chad, what have you ever not gave a rah
I
speech?
mean, on Thursday nights, I'd always come in tame, dude. You know,
Shit.
calm. Yeah, keeping it calm. You know, but Travis, like, I think he had decided, or I don't know whether he was nervous about it, or he had really thought that he was going to bring
He wanted to talk.
He was going to bring a Hellraiser. I mean, he was ready to go.
He was ready to go.
And then I'll let you take it from there.
So he gets up there. You know how soft spoken he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he gets up there and he goes, "Oh, guys." I mean, we're waiting. I think the coaching staff had even set him up like, and Travis has got something to tell you guys tonight.
Well, he had built it up.
Yeah, and
like
I think Chad had set him up, or Coach Blankenship had set him up.
He had said, like, hey, I mean.
And so he steps up there, and I remember his head was down. He just kept looking at the ground. He goes, "Guys," I mean, you're thinking, here it comes. He goes, "Just kick her fucking ass." And he just
walked away. It was like powerful words.
Yeah.
Powerful words, man.
True statement.
And just decided he'd just drop an F-bomb.
Yeah. He thought, well, obviously, I mean, it was short and potent.
Yeah. And I mean, Jeremy,
Guess what? We still remember it.
Oh yeah. I mean, to say it was not memorable. I mean, look, it was probably the only F-bomb drop that year.
There's probably
Travis
only
Heath.
4 or 5 speeches I remember. Your speech about ripping off the goddamn wall was probably the
I think
first
I've got the most traction off of that one. Most people seem to remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one. Did you get in trouble one time for doing that at the new place?
Oh yeah. Probably when Tyler and those guys were playing.
Yeah,
Times had changed, and what I didn't realize in that stadium is the women's restroom is right next to our locker room. And I'm in there raising hell before the game, and I think I might have said, I know exactly what I said. I said something about knocking their dick stiff.
Yep.
Well, if you've got women in there pissing, they probably don't want to hear that shit. So it was mentioned to the head coach that, hey, you might want to get those guys dialed in there. There's women over there.
And they can hear those speeches.
To which our head coach, God bless him, was like, hey, I don't give a damn about them women pissing. We're trying to get ready to go out and win a football game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Trust me. I've seen men about go into convulsions with your speeches.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of needed a little extra. And what was funny is the one that I got in trouble on like that, like, it was not a particularly vile speech. Like, I've gotten a lot worse than that. I mean, it was something like, like I said, it was like I believe the comment was knock their dick stiff or something to that. It was a stiff dick comment.
They didn't like it.
Apparently it did not land upon the correct ears.
I always loved your take. You'd say you used to judge us by Jay Blankenship's foot tap.
That's when I knew we were ready to go.
Yeah, when Jay started getting in a certain cadence.
He'd start tapping. He'd start moving around. And then as soon as I saw that first tear, I was like, all right, we got to wrap this up within 10 seconds and go.
Before he loses the mood.
Yeah. It's like, well, we've got him sufficiently stirred.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Man. Did you listen to Matthews's?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've officially had every quarterback.
I was gonna say, now how many quarterbacks have we now had on the
You
show?
were the missing link.
You got to get Morgan on here.
Well, yeah, he's
too busy drunk dialing my ass at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. If we could ever get his ass down here from Michigan, which he keeps claiming
He says he's coming.
When? I mean, look, dude.
I had a good conversation with him.
Oh, yeah. Mike's great, dude.
Yeah.
But we got to get him on here, too. I mean, that fully pulls the
Well,
loop.
I don't know if he was just drunk, but he says, hey, Pudge, I'm coming on. And I said, well, like you even had to tell me.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
I
yeah.
knew you're coming on.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I'm just saying, I'm ready. He goes, I don't know what we can talk about. He said, all I do all day is save people's lives. Because he's a Pfizer rep for this.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we'll talk about whatever. He's like, well, you know.
Well, he's been saving people's lives for a long time. Hell, he started off selling that little blue pill, bud. I mean,
did he?
Oh, he's been changing lives since he got in the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about, you'll appreciate this. This is one of my favorite Mike Morgan stories, is how he talks about Todd Bachtel, okay? And he says, hey, man, I'm 14.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm quarterback on Todd Bachtel's senior year, and I'm 14, Touch. He's like, this dude looks like he's 30. And he's like, I'm 14. And he just keeps telling me that. And I thought, you know what, that's a great take.
Yeah. Well, the really sad thing about that is I was 15 and probably only outweighed him by about 10 pounds and was playing center.
Yeah.
And that was why it was such an amazing feat that Todd Bachtel had the amount of yards that he had.
It truly is.
Because they were running for their lives, bro.
He was probably too. I remember him, but I don't. And I knew Todd. Great guy, and rest his soul. Yeah. But I wasn't into it then. That would have been like 88, 89.
Yeah, right around there.
And
87, 88.
Man, I was like 6, 7. Well, I was 7.
Yeah. One quick Todd Bachtel story. One quick one. We're in the huddle and we're down about probably 35, 40 yard line. He's like, hey, how many points would we get if I could kick it through that goalpost? Talking about a field goal. He's like, how many points we get? You know, I mean, shit, we were probably getting beat by 100. I mean, you know, how many points we get if I could kick it through there? And I thought, okay, dude, this man is relaxed. And I'm sitting here scared for my life.
Yeah.
But this guy's like, hey, how many points they give us if I could kick it through from here? and I'll tell you what. The bastard probably could have kicked it.
Yeah, he was so athletic. There's no doubt in my mind that he could have.
Yeah. I mean, he could have lined up, and I don't know if he is particularly
I've heard
a kicker.
many people say that I trust what they say. They said he was something else.
Oh, my God, dude. To say he had no line, I mean, I was on it.
And you were 15.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Barely got hair under your arms.
Barely, yeah. And, I mean, we were rebuilding a program at that time, man. And, I mean, that's what people don't understand, how far that program came, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, dude, when Coach Blackstone got here that first year, I mean, Bub, we were
pretty brutal. It was.
We took some ass kicking.
Yeah.
So you would have been, what, a 7th, 8th grader back then?
Yeah. Like, dude, I was playing on the varsity team, but listen, and I'm the first person to tell anybody this. I was playing, but not because I was good. That just lets you know where
the talent was. Yeah.
I mean, that's where our program was.
Right.
Like, I didn't have a business on a varsity football field.
Right.
You're 15.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
That's what I mean. To me, I'm just thinking. I mean, now don't get me wrong, and I mean, not to toot Morgan's horn, but I'm sure the boy was very good as a freshman, and I'm sure he had a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. But to throw a so this is in no disrespect to him, but to throw a freshman out on a varsity field as a quarterback, as a team leader. Now, there's some exceptions. Joe Burrow.
This gentleman played as a freshman.
Yeah.
You started as a freshman?
Quarterback? Not quarterback.
Not quarterback, but free safety.
Free safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that on your team?
He was a sophomore.
The sophomore on your
year,
team.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you would have been on.
We were on the same team.
Bo and
yeah.
them's
Yeah.
team. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. But I'm okay. Nothing against you.
Yeah.
I'm saying quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Team leader.
Dude, against all of us, I think Tommy would agree with me.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a great player. I mean, I wound up being decent. Morgan was a great player. But a lot of us got to play at a young age because we were really trying to – I mean, we were building a program here.
Right.
I mean, you know, there were gaps that needed filled that, like, dude, if there was a junior or senior – no disrespect to anybody that's listening. I'm not taking away from anybody. But if there was a junior or senior that could have adequately played the position and been 2 years older and stronger and everything else, then
They would have played it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of Jackson. Now you don't see very many freshmen or sophomores playing that often. I mean, you know, but back in that day, like we had to.
I remember rolling into school at 6:30 in the morning and throwing football with Mike Morgan before
in the
school
gym.
started.
In the gym.
3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Really?
We threw from 6:30 to 7:30, showered up, got ready for school.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep. Ice going
Right.
snap.
Yep, right there in the gym. We'd run our drills, do all of our throwing drills.
Now they still get in there and work out.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I think this is great. Now they do their workouts like what we would do weight workouts after school.
They do it before school.
They do it at 6 a.m., dude.
Yeah, I think that's great too.
And then after school, they do whatever. Like if there's certain kids that are in other sports, but I mean, I like that discipline that creates. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's. But anyway, we've had several quarterbacks on.
Yeah,
you know.
So we've had everybody, but we had. Well, you were after Morgan, so then we started with Matthews, and then we had Humphreys. We had Humphreys, but we didn't have. I tell you, we missed Chad Spradlin.
Yeah, we got to get Spradlin on here.
I see Spradlin.
Yeah, we got to get him on there. I see him around too, and he listens to the show.
Yeah, he does. Yep. Yeah. What up,
we found that Jackson quarterbacks rate very well on our show, so no pressure, Tom.
No pressure at all. None.
So who? So then you had Spradlin. So you went from you. We got to get Chamberlain.
Yeah,
Casey.
Yeah. We were thinking. I don't know if you listened to the Lance Phillips episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 coaches in 35 years. Did you catch that?
At Jackson. Yeah.
Is that not a crazy statistic?
That's a crazy statistic.
To think, well,
and you wonder why
they're winning football games.
You know? I mean, that's what we were talking about, like with Wellston, and no disrespect to Wellston, but whatever you do, keep the guy you got now. I don't know whether he's a good coach. let him go.
Yeah, let that bird fly.
I mean, my goodness, it has been proven. If you start, dude, we did it in basketball here for how long?
Well, you had old Hinton over at Amanda Clear Creek.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he was there forever. You had.
Well, I mean, but now look, I mean, if a guy's a quack, you got to cut bait. You know, I get that, but like, man, there's a lot of coaches.
Give him a couple years
here and anywhere else where, like, you know, don't get antsy.
Dugan had success down there.
Yeah, he did. At Oak Hill. At Oak Hill, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think.
So you had,
if you got a decent guy, just dance with the girl that brought you a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so you don't build a program in one year, dude.
No.
You went from you to Matthews to Joey, rest your soul. After Joey, you had Chamberlain. Chamberlain, you had Spradlin. Then I lost it. Then Humphreys was probably one. Then you had Marcus Boggs.
Yeah, I know he quarterbacked at least a year or two in there. Was there?
Who was after Jake and them boys? Who was that sophomore class after me? Mindy's class. Mindy's class would have been
Curtis Green and those guys. Spradlin.
Nope, he's gone. Starkey.
Nick, no. Did Humphreys start playing then?
Michael Holdren.
Holdren.
Yeah, Michael
P.J. Holdren.
Yes. Hell of a dude.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah. Clyde to Glide. So.
Yeah.
And then after Holdren, you had probably Starkey.
Yeah, and Humphreys. Starkey and Humphreys, like, they were kind of right in there.
Starkey's older than Humphreys.
Yeah, I know, but it seemed like Humphreys started playing kind of young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. Like, I think that you had. I think Starkey might have been in there for a year or something, but I don't know. That was when I was not in Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, either. I was in Athens. Yep, I forget those days. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. But so you're so we're working off of Matthews. So yeah, you're kind of like Matthew. Matthew's kind of like your bitch. Yeah.
It's all right to say that.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah.
Well, see, he's more of a bitch to Pudge and I on the golf course. Yeah. Well, right. I mean,
we'll make Matthews our bitch wherever we want to make him our bitch. Drinking.
Whiskey drinking.
We proved that.
Golf playing.
Yeah. Now listen, I gotta give him a little shot. He whipped my ass every which way.
Pudge called him into a 3-point stance up here.
Son of a bitch.
And it was ugly. I mean, he still looks like he could play.
He's cut. I mean, he's stout.
God.
I mean, he is.
I refuse to believe it.
He even said in the podcast he was a running back playing quarterback.
Oh, he was. Yeah,
I was like
a fullback.
I was like, well, shit. I ought to be able to hang with Jeff. And boy, I couldn't. Oh man, he was so fast.
Yeah,
and strong.
Yeah. Well, he said he's married to a fitness model. I mean, he's got to keep up with her.
I mean, he whipped my ass, Tommy. I wouldn't quit. It ripped my shirt. I mean, he just wouldn't let off of me. It was awful. I should have known better. I should have.
Was you sore for a couple of days after?
For like a week, I was sore.
And he probably just shrugged it off. It probably
he did like I didn't even touch him. Flies is biting.
Yeah. Didn't phase him one bit.
Got the flies biting. You know, yeah, he listens to us a good bit. I was glad to talk to my buddy Jeff, and I'm looking forward to Morgan. I was looking forward to you coming on, man. Yeah, that was you and Morgan were about the time I first started watching Jackson football, probably, or paying attention,
right?
You know, and you're getting ready to go through it with Parker.
Yeah,
you know, that's your oldest boy, right?
Trevin's the oldest. Then Parker.
Okay.
Parker just started last week over at AP Prep.
Parker did. Okay.
Yeah,
how old's Trevin?
Trevin's going to be going into 7th grade.
Okay.
He's on the fence. He's talking about playing football. Because, see, last year with COVID, he's played all the years before, and then last year we didn't have it.
Yep.
So now he's talking about, you know, all my buddies are playing, and, you know, I'm thinking I don't want to regret not getting out there and, you know, playing with them. So I think he's going to go into the 7th grade level, and Parker will be going into 6th grade.
I knew they were real close.
So he'll be finishing his last year in Pee Wee.
Yep.
And then I tell you what, my twins, those two are a force to be reckoned with.
Are they?
They're going to be 5 years old.
I'll say they're 2 years younger than Gibson, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And
now you got one that's Gibson's age.
Tinley is actually in kindergarten.
Tinley's in kindergarten.
They went to preschool last year together.
No,
year before.
2 years ago, they went to preschool together.
Yeah, because Tinley actually has Mindy this year for kindergarten.
All right.
And then, I mean, I hate to say it, but I hope the boys get her next year because they need a little discipline in their life.
She's brutal.
Well, they need it.
People underestimate.
They need it.
People ask me all the time, or people tell her all the time, Mindy, we don't know how you do it. And I'm looking over here like, what the fuck? I'm like, if you people knew, she's a kindergarten teacher. You know how pissed off she comes home? My God.
She beats me with the newspaper when I walk in the door.
God, she treats me like a 5-year-old every day. Every day. Jason, pick it up. Pick it up, I said. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
She's intimidating as hell. I thought Tinley and Gibson, you're right. Yep. They went to preschool at Northview there. Yeah. It's funny, small towns, you know. I mean,
Tinley just loves her to death. I mean,
and Mindy loves having them.
Yeah, she absolutely loves her. Mrs. Gillum.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's funny to go to a store whenever you're married to a teacher and all these kids run up to her,
man.
you know.
Yeah.
And hug her, Mrs. Gillum. You know, I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What else we need to talk about, boys?
I don't know, man. I think
are you
going to
run for council? You know, you talked about it one time.
I threw my name in there for the president whenever they had the vacancy, and I was approached by a couple of them that didn't want me to, you know, leave a bad taste in my mouth because, you know, they picked Falks, and I told him, I was like,
goddamn?
Yeah, I was like, no hard feelings, you know, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know,
both good choices.
I mean, I just had a few people approach me and say, you know, this is something that we feel like you should maybe get involved in. Yeah. So,
is it something you have interest in?
Yeah and no. I mean,
I watched you there a year or so ago, and you got all fired up about certain things, which is good.
Yeah, I mean,
my philosophy is anymore, though, bud. You know, as a Jackson guy, we're all three, you know, hometown boys, all four of us. I'm choosing not to get cranked up anymore.
You're better off.
I really am.
I mean, there's no sense in getting your blood pressure all jacked out of shape.
Pissed off. Oh God, I used to.
I've been there.
Yeah, and I'm just choosing now. I'm not. I'm stepping away. I'm not that I'm stepping away, but I don't want to be involved if it has any chance of a fire.
Yeah, well, and I think that the city deals seem pretty hot right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what my wife. She's
so, like, if you step in, I mean, it's you know.
Yeah, my wife's like, you don't want to be getting phone calls all the time about this and that and the other, and I'm like, well, maybe you got a point there.
And you work at a location where you would just get stopped all the time.
Yes.
I hope you don't do it. Not because I think
I
you
hope
do
he does.
But do you? Well, you live in town.
Yeah,
so it don't
yeah.
make a shit to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you don't do it, don't you? Because I don't live in town, so I don't give a shit what happens.
I mean, and a person that does that job, they're not doing it for the money or the recognition. It's more or less just to try to be the voice of the people. Because
I think your cousin does a hell of a job at it.
Yeah, he does.
I tell you, I love that guy. And people's like, boy, that Ryan. People tell me sometimes, what do you think about Ryan Peters? I'm like, I love Ryan Peters. I'm like, that guy, he's going to give it to you. You might not like it, but he's going to give it to you.
You're going to get it straight.
There's no gray area.
No, not
it's black
Ryan.
And white. This is what it is.
And one thing I like about Ryan, man, is do you ever have to wonder where you stand?
Never.
With that guy?
Never.
I mean, he's just honest.
Yeah, you don't have to say, "Tell me what you think."
Yeah, right.
I mean, is that what you really
well?
think?
And you know what? If you ask him, he'll tell you, and it's not going to be bullshit.
But he won't volunteer it on you, or volunteer.
Oh no, man! I mean,
but if you ask him, he will. He'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, and
like you said, it may not be the answer you wanted to hear.
Sure.
But
well, and I mean, you know what, man? When I see somebody that's going to be a councilman or something like that, I think that's what you need.
Right.
I mean, I know I got a bad habit of I'm not very good at hurting people's feelings a lot of times.
Yeah.
So you guess what? I wouldn't be worth a shit on council.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to make tough calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just part of the territory.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I guess, right now where you and I and Chad are fatherhood wise, be tough to pull off. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you hate to look back and like something happened to you? Like let's go back to Dennis, my Uncle Dennis. Wouldn't you hate to, be laying there and something happened to you and then you think, shit, there was some years that didn't mean nothing
that I ain't getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's just kind of the way I think about it. Like anymore now, I used to be gung ho on it, but like anymore, I'm just like.
Well, I mean, like last year, I coached t-ball, and I had Trevin playing on one leg, Parker playing on one leg. We was down at the ball fields 4 or 5 nights a week.
Oh, I know. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's crazy around here now is you're seeing like people like I don't mind coaching.
Right.
I like to coach, okay, but at the same time. I'm sure you've noticed this. I know you've noticed this. The same guys are coaching everything just because of the lack of.
There's not a lot of people willing to participate.
Just like you're out of town. You can't.
A lot of times,
And I mean, hell, I don't begrudge you or Chad. You can't.
Right. And that's something I'm really trying to work on, man. Because that is that's a valuable thing, man. Hell, your dad coached.
Oh,
for a long time. I mean, I coached. I played on his he'd coach the All-Star team or whatever.
Yeah.
Him, Danny, X-Line, Dad, they all coached together out down there throughout the whole thing.
Marty's dad.
Yeah, yeah. Marty's grandpa would help coach.
Marty your age?
Yes, he was in my class. Tom was a couple years younger.
You were 93, weren't you?
But we all played Little League and stuff together.
Right.
And Tom, man, I mean, he was your dad. Tom was a big part of the Jackson Rec Leagues at that time in all the sports, and that's a void I have right now. I feel like, well, if my son's going to be playing, I sure would like to participate in that.
Well, you don't necessarily have to be a coach to participate.
No. You're right, and that's what you do.
Yeah, and I think that was just something that my dad enjoyed because I mean, even back whenever my sister played. Softball in 85, 84, around that.
Yeah.
He was coaching softball teams traveling to Russell, Kentucky, and traveling all across the tri-state area.
I met your sister. I didn't know she existed.
Yeah, she just moved back up here from Louisiana.
Yeah, I met her probably a year ago.
Yeah.
She's still cleaning houses?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, she started down there doing that in Louisiana, then decided to come back up here. This is where all the family's at.
Yeah.
And so
how long has she been back, man? I seen
literally like a little over a year.
That's good. Is she enjoying it back here now?
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, somebody had passed away, and she'd went to a funeral, and then came to the bar later on that weekend or night or whatever. She was like, "Well, I'm Tommy Hill's sister." Well, shit, I didn't even know you were.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were a person.
Yeah,
but I mean, it'd be hard to get involved politically. For me,
right
at our dad game stage right now.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like I said, I know strengths and weaknesses, and I don't know that I could go in there and move this thing forward like I feel like it needs to be done.
The city?
Right. Like I guess what I'm saying is, I mean, and this is not good. I think that I'm probably, it's not that I don't care about it. I do. I'm not really up to speed on everything that's going on. I mean, I hear the issues.
I want to help out just like the baseball thing that we did.
Sure.
I want to help out where we can.
Right. And that's kind of where I am. And I don't know that I'd be a very good frontline guy to go in there and duke it out with people.
No.
I mean,
I'd get pissed off.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would too, and I'm uninformed.
Sure.
And but I like to see people that are willing to go in there and roll their sleeves up and duke it out with, it's the only thing. That's the only way you move things forward.
Right.
I just don't see how I just don't see how that whole government system works. Like, you got 7 people telling 2 people who tell 100 people what to do. It's just weird.
It's
like
messy.
I don't. Yeah, like
It's messy.
Me and my mom were, and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, you did it in
yesterday.
Chillicothe. You had a close
Very
view
I just feel like all
city
government
politics.
I just feel like all government right now is so broken.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak much for the city government, but it does seem as though there's a good bit of division there, right? Or is that getting better? I mean,
I think it's kind of on the mend.
okay.
Randy's pretty good at that.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
orchestrate that around pretty good.
Well, I think they probably needed a change there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and now it seems like there's been some change on council as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and well, it's in the last 4 years or so. I mean, there's been some change. I mean, Ryan was a relatively new
okay.
addition,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I mean, there's been
Who's coming off this year?
I think they're all up for re-election.
yeah, this is going to be a big one for him.
Hey, hell, fire it up. Give us something to talk
I
about.
haven't seen
every
any.
single one of them.
I haven't seen any Tommy Hill for council signs. Are we going to see him?
I have.
You've got that look in your
I-
eye.
a
Hey,
couple people
let's
asked
announce
me-
it right here on the show.
No. Just because I'm the kind of person
is there
that
going to be an officially? Is there going
If
to be an
I-
official chubby bartender endorsed candidate on the
no.
ticket this year?
because I mean they've already had the deadline, and I'm the kind of person that if I would do it, I would have to do it 100%.
I believe that after seeing your DJ set.
And probably previously before I thought that Trevin and Parker wasn't going to play football, I would consider it. But now Trevin's talking about playing football.
Yeah.
Parker's talking about playing football. I've already had Bice call me, and he's like, hey,
Yeah.
if Parker's
'Cause
going to be
you've
playing
coached down there
sixth grade.
before, yeah.
Yeah. The last year I coached, we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
And I mean, if Parker's going to be involved, then
You're
I
gonna
want
be involved, too.
I want to be down there. I told him I was like, I may not be a head coach, but I'll help Troy or whoever's going to be over the white team, and I'll be more than happy to do whatever they delegate my way.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take away from them and that. Like you said,
to be on the
know.
council.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean, there's-
that's. I think we're all three at a spot. I mean, we've got young kids.
Right.
It's definitely a balancing act with your work and your
I found it.
and kids.
I'm
sports.
in, boys.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have found the work-life balance. It just hit me over the weekekend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's one of the
Taking
things.
some off your plate.
This is what work-life balance is. I was like, holy shit. I'm so ready to go at the insurance business tomorrow.
Yeah. See, I mean, and dude, that's what it's all about.
It is.
I mean, like I felt like I've had an equilibrium. Is it right where I want it to be? No, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's improving.
Yeah.
If I could just get off the road maybe one more day a week.
Yeah.
But
Are you working 7 days a week?
No.
Not 7, but I mean, you're not a Monday through Friday guy though.
No. My schedule fluctuates.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But, I work 5 days most of the time, unless it's holidays or
pretty
something
set
like that.
hours or
I'll be honest with you. The one thing I love about Kroger and what I do, they are so flexible with me. Like, as long as I go in there and get my job done.
okay.
Like, this morning,
You don't hear anything about it then.
I went into work at 2 o'clock this morning. I worked till 10, went to church, went to Tinley's birthday party, and came up here. And, I was scheduled 4 to noon. They don't care.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I get in there and get it done, get the stuff put out before customers get in the door, and they're really
Did
flexible.
you sleep?
I don't.
Are you?
Do you require very little sleep?
My wife is just at all sometimes. Like I gotta be at work.
Hey,
I gotta be at work at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Well,
I'll go home and I'll sleep 3 or 4 hours and be up ready to go again.
It's interesting that you and I can talk about this because this all came to fruition this weekend for me. This is the first time that I haven't had to do shit. Okay, and I'm looking at like this as like a regimen.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and like that DJ business. Whenever I was doing that, mainly not the music business, the DJ business. Because one thing about playing music, you're either 9 to midnight or 10 to 1 or whatever.
defined.
It's defined,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
With that DJ business, just like Tommy said, you'll be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning getting home, and it really threw my sleep off. So I and I still get plenty of sleep as far as that goes, but like I'm not that guy that's going to go in and every night at 10 o'clock go to bed. I'm kind of a 2, 3 o'clock in the morning kind of guy. how do you justify it now? Like, how are you doing it? Do you try to just go to bed whenever? Do you sleep whenever you want with that Kroger schedule, or are you?
I will go home, and when I get off at 11 or 12 or whatever, and I've got like
in the morning?
No, in the afternoon.
In the evening.
Yeah, like I'll go home. I'll stay up until 10 or 11, and then I'll get up at 3, go to work. And when I get home, I'll kick back in the recliner for an hour or two before the kids get home. So it's kind of like spaced out here.
Just
and there.
catch a little bit
Feel
when you
good
can.
doing that?
Yeah.
See, I can't get myself in the habit of feeling good doing that.
I think it's just what you get accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
You get your body conditioned to do it, and you've probably been doing that for several years.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
But you don't drink.
No.
Nope, you don't drink much.
I have not had. I had a beer at Hilton Head a few years ago, whenever we was down there on vacation. But like as far as getting tore up to where I'm hurting.
So you used to have a beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I still enjoy it, you know.
yeah, you'll have a beer or two.
Yeah.
You're just not going to have 12.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I was
I'll
just looking down. Shit, I'm on my way
I was about
tonight.
to say, you're driving home, right?
Yeah. Probably my last one.
you know, like 2 years ago,
not high life.
I brought home a 6-pack, and my wife was like, "What are you doing with that?" I was like, "I'm gonna throw it in the refrigerator, and you know, after I mow grass, I'll grab a cold one." That was like July. I think I drank the last one of those like the beginning of September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you enjoy one, like every now and then you'll just feel like, man, I'd kind of like to have a cold beer.
Yeah. I mean, I like the taste of beer.
Well, yeah,
Now,
I do too.
I don't like how it makes me feel after I,
That's my
overindulge.
That's my thing, man. I hate the way it makes
Well,
me
the
feel.
recovery is slower and slower the older you get.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, it's
Yeah. And I
got
guess
it.
I just need to start checking up the buzz. And just be like, hey, this is a good buzz. Let's just stay here. Let's not go to level 10. Let's stay at 4, budgie.
yeah. See, my problem is, man, I look at it like a light switch. With
Yeah,
me.
you're either on or off, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't have a dimmer switch. Like, okay, I'm just gonna have, two or three, or one. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I need to go Diet Cokes if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and then you'll still drink 12.
Maybe those.
Yeah.
But that, and you know what? No headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what does?
I
My
had
body.
somebody
It's
tell
probably
me the
worse.
other day, I got drunk. It was last Thursday. Not a couple days ago, like 10 days ago. And I was like, man, I got drunker than hell for some reason. I didn't even mean to. It was that night me and you was drinking whiskey.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
It was
God.
after the show.
It was after the show, and I was like, man, all of a sudden I just got drunk. And I mean, I can't figure it out. And I'm like, man, I used to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden this shit's starting to smack me right in the face. I forget who it was. I think it was my cousin Dave.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it was, because it was at that thing.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I don't know what it is. He goes, well, dumbass, I know what it is. I said, what is it? He said, you're trying to drink with Chad Reynolds. And I said, you know
Can't
what?
hang.
You're right.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
Embrace your talents, folks.
Yeah, I mean, he can drink and it not faze him a bit.
Yeah. Like I've not had that. I mean, I'm on a light night tonight. I got an early morning tomorrow, so I'm taking it easy. But like this, I'm not in the hangover zone, man.
I'm not if I stop at this one.
Well, and I mean, these are
light.
You got Girl in the Moon there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
champagne light.
We got a sign downstairs. Did you see our new studio we're getting ready to do
Yeah.
down there?
Looks nice.
Yeah, we're gonna trim it up and dress it up a little bit. But anything else we need to talk about, boys?
No,
We've been
man,
probably an hour and a half.
Yep, just about an hour and a half.
My
Just about an
goodness.
hour and a half. We've been
Nice.
trying to cut them down.
Yeah. And we went over our limit with Tom, but I figured
Yeah.
we would.
Yeah, I did too. Anything else you want to talk about, man?
No, not that I can think of.
We'll have you back.
Well, yeah. come back.
Please. Yeah.
Come back.
Hey,
He's
tell
gonna be-
them how to find you.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook, Sound Blast DJ Service and Karaoke. And I actually just started a YouTube channel, just putting
Attaboy.
like some of the bits and pieces of receptions and stuff that I've done last year.
It gives you a way to share your stuff.
Well, and that's one of the big things a lot of these younger guys are coming up. They're getting into that, where they're doing these vlogs and doing stuff, showing
Yeah.
their setups and
Yeah.
their actual gigs.
Yeah.
So I think I put 3 out last year, and just
Just 3 videos.
Well, yeah, just to kind of give people a taste of
what you do.
Yeah.
This digital stuff, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, man.
Tommy's going to be working with us, doing a little bit of editing work with Tyler, and so Sound Blast DJ service can do it all. If you guys
we're
want
gonna hook you up with a little bit of intro work and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So
you guys are going to see some cool stuff to start the show, finish the show.
So
and
I'm looking
things
forward
like
to that.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, so hit the like and subscribe button on Sound Blast DJ service. Tyler will have the link in the description, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe, share it, comment. We'd love to hear from you, guys. We're doing this just because we love the interaction. So talk to us, Chad. You got anything you want to tell them?
Like and subscribe, and as Pudge says, we're in it for the people. The people like you.
We don't. I mean, we're doing it for the interaction.
Oh, hell yeah. We enjoy it.
That's what we're doing. This whole thing's interaction.
Yeah.
More. So, hey, we'll see you next week with who we got? Eddie Hughes. No. Higgins.
He's Thursday.
Ben Higgins.
Thursday's Hughes, right? Or no?
Thursday's Hughes.
Thursday's Hughes. No?
Calendar says Higgins.
Does it?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, we'll have one of them.
We'll have one of them. So we got a couple good guests
Mystery
coming up.
guests.
Higgins and Ben Higgins and Eddie Hughes. And we got Clint Charrington coming up. We got I'd have to look at the calendar.
Yeah, me too.
I know Timmy Scarberry's coming up.
Oh, yeah. The Stallion.
And there's going to be we've actually got something else that we got to talk to you about, a hot seat edition.
Yeah,
coming
we'll do
up.
some hot seats.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next trip, folks.
For
See
the
ya.
people, by the people.